Folks, today I'm going to talk about a product that I've owned and used for probably a couple years. Sometimes I do a review when something first comes out. Sometimes I just get on here and talk about something I've just grown to totally love. So this is my second Zoom H1. Right now I'm recording audio with Zoom H1. This little Sony microphone is on here. And I have the H1, my first H1 in my pocket. I have many miles on this little thing right here. I've used it for probably 100 projects. It's kind of beaten up. At one point, one of these little mics came loose from the housing. I just beat it up so bad somehow, and I was able to super glue it right back in, and it just keeps working like a trooper. So right now, you're really hearing the sound coming off the Sony. Let me go ahead and unplug this for a second. And so now you'd be hearing 256 kilobyte per second audio coming straight off of the Zoom H1. I'm assuming it's still recording here. Check 1 2 3 1 2 3, so you can contrast this from what's coming off of the camcorder right now. I hear what the camcorder audio sounds like as I talk, and now I'm going to go right back in with a little microphone. So, and it switched. It actually said line. It intelligently knew that I'd plugged the microphone into it. So now you're hearing what's coming off the Sony again, a little stereo microphone hanging from my shirt. I'm going to unbox this one. This one says version 2.0, works as USB mic. Maybe this other one I have was 2.0 also. I don't know. I bought it really when it kind of first started coming out. So maybe I've upgraded to that because it does work as a USB mic as well. So you can just plug it straight into your computer, and you can use the Zoom as a going direct into your computer for your Skype or for your screen captures or whatever else you want to use. I'm going to open this one. I just got this one. The reason I got it is because I've started seeing a lot of times I'll interview two people, and that's happened more and more lately. And so I have a job coming up where I'm going to have to interview two people. I wanted to have the Sony mic on more than one person. So this is one of my secret weapons when I use the H1. This is the Sony, I think it's say this right, ECM-CS3. These are like on sales on Amazon once in a while for 15 bucks. Usually they're about 19 bucks. I've tried like $60, $80 lavalier mics, and these to me sound better or just as good. I honestly think they sound better. So I use this a whole lot, and I bought like 3 or 4 of them. So here, I'm just unboxing it to show you what you get when it comes. It comes with some software and stuff, I think preloaded onto it. It has a little SD card there and an adapter for the SD card. And yeah, that's familiar. It doesn't look any different than the other one, at least other than this is brand new, not all scratched up, and everything comes with a battery that's in there. So I'm not going to belabor that point. We'll go ahead and just put the battery in this one. The battery goes in right here, and you just pull that thing off, pull it sideways, and there it goes. It comes straight off. Battery's in, case is on. On the back, it's kind of cool. I don't know if you can see that, but you've got some settings there on the back, these little dip switch type things that you push forward or backward. And what they are, you've got your low cut, which I usually leave that off. I don't need to usually cut lows. Auto level, you can turn it on. I usually don't turn it on. And it comes preset to wave as your recording mode. I usually put mine on the MP3. I usually, for most of the videos you hear on my channel, they're recorded at either 320 kilobytes per second MP3 or 256. I'm recording at 256 right now. Most of the MP3s that you download off of like iTunes or something are usually, I think, maybe 192. So it's better than what you get off of just iTunes. And then on the side, you could go here and look at the specs, I'm sure, but there on the side you have various different controls as well. That's where most of the action takes place when you're doing your setup. And it's super easy to learn and set up. You got an input level. First of all, I'm going to turn it on by pulling down the little button here. And you got this is kind of cool. It's a little toggle button that pulls down. When you pull it down, it turns it on. And so now it's being turned on as I hold that up. And you can see here I have the date has not been set, so it says 1/1/10. So it thinks it's January 1st, 2010, but we'll fix that later. It says it's no card in it, so let me turn it back off and put the card in. So that brings up, where does the card go? Well, the card goes on this side, and there's a little door that opens there. You just pull that open. Very easy. It's got a little plasticky thing that holds it in there. That could break, I guess, but mine never has. I've hardly ever taken the card out, maybe once or twice. So I'm putting this card in. I don't know how big the card is, maybe maybe a gig or something, we'll find out. Let's see, I'll turn it on. So again, I turned it on. It says I have, at 128 kilobytes per second, it says I have 34 hours, 7 minutes, and 35 seconds. So 34 hours recording at 128, which 128 still sounds pretty good. But how do I go from a 128 up? It's so easy. You've got the little forward and backward buttons on here, the little arrows that up or down. And I'm just gonna click up, and that went to 160. Hold that there. If I click up again, it should go to like 192. It did, it goes to 192. And as you see, as you click the kilobytes up, it takes the hours down. It shows you, of course, the more kilobytes you use, the less time you're going to have. So I'm going to go up again. It goes to 224, then it goes to 256, and I love recording at 256 at least. So now I have 17 hours, 3 minutes, and 47 seconds. While I'm talking about this, let's talk about battery life. Battery life is generally very good with this. Gee whiz, if I'm recording 256, I probably do get 17 hours of recording out of one battery. So it lasts a long time. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit record on this. Let's see, this ought to be kind of cool. So how do you record? You just hit the enter. Now, what's gonna happen here, since I've changed the kilobytes per second, the first one I hit is gonna set the, no, it didn't. Wow, this is a little different. Usually the first one I hit sets the kilobytes per second and it doesn't record, but now it is recording, it's advancing. So maybe there's been a software change. So I'm going to hold this about, a foot back from my face. Hello, this is Tony Lee Glenn. We're testing the Zoom H1. So I'm doing this now so we can test the sound of the new H1 with the audio coming off of the Sony mic on my old H1. So there we go. It should sound pretty nice. It's recording and the levels look good. You can change your input levels just by clicking up and down on the little input level thing there if you don't think it's hot enough. Generally, I try to keep it, where it's coming up about halfway or a little bit more than that. And you can always advance that, make it a little hotter with your normalization in your editing program. So there you go. That's really all there is to it, other than it just works. It just works. I love hooking. It does have a little speaker in the bottom of it, so you can listen to the audio later if you want to. I love running guitar amps or guitar processors into it. You can like play your guitar and go straight into this line in there, and it sounds great. You set your audio level. I've recorded a bunch of my synthesizer playing, just the music straight out. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure you can go line in and be monitoring it on the line out while you're recording. So that's kind of cool too. So you've got a great little line level recorder that sounds great if you're coming out of a mixing board. To me, it sounds as good as any of the other Zoom products. It's only $99. Sometimes you can find them for $89 on sale. So there you go, singing the praises of the Zoom H1. I love the fact that it's smaller than a cell phone. You can just put it in like right now it's in my pocket of my workout pants that I'm wearing. And I've got this tiny little thin cable coming up here to record this audio. Not much to love about it. There are maybe fancier ones, but for the price point, I love it. And how do I usually get the audio off of it? I usually don't take the card out and put it into an adapter and go into, I usually just take a USB cable and go straight into the USB there. USB 2 is what it is, and I think it is, unless they've advanced it to USB 3, but I think it's probably USB 2. The computer will power it up. You don't even have to turn it on. And it will give you, when you plug it into your computer, this little thing right here will flash. It will say mic, card, mic, card, mic, card. It will go back and forth between those. And so you choose at one point, if it's while it's displaying card, you'll push the red button and it will show up as a hard drive, and you can just pull the audio off of it, just drag it on into a folder that you've made. Or if you push it while mic is being displayed, see it just alternately flashes back and forth between those two. If you push it while mic's being displayed, then probably your Windows or your Mac will install a little quick driver and you'll be able to use this as your microphone source. So there you go, folks. I don't know a whole lot else to tell you. Sometimes I do use the Wave if I want to get like super high quality audio. Gee whiz, it records at really good resolution. 24-bit, 96 kilohertz. So usually in the real world, most of us are doing 16-bit, 44.1 or 48. So you can go way beyond what you would typically, you could record 96 kilohertz and 24-bit if you want to be able to stretch the audio, extend it, make it sound smoother, or do a lot of pitch things with it. So it's really good, particularly for, I guess, pros or for people that do music. And trying to see USB 2 high speed. What else does it say here? Linear PCM recording. That's for your waves. And so there you go. XY mic design. Uses up to 32 gigabyte cards, so that's probably good to know. You can put a 32 gig card in it. Comes with a lot of little instructions and packages and warnings, and I don't know what all here. It does come with Cubase LE. It looks like you can download, get Cubase, so you can do some multi-track recording. It comes with that, and it comes with a program called WaveLab LE, which is, I guess, another wave editing. I don't use either one of those programs. I just use Adobe Audition for everything, whether I'm doing multi-track or if I'm doing just wave editing. So, and yeah, it comes with I won't show my registration number in case I want to use it, but there's my registration number. Has that printed on there for your WaveLab and for your Cubase. Sweet, pretty good little thing. Oh, it comes with a here's this little, I guess a little quick guide or something. I don't remember all this coming with my first one, but maybe it did. Handy recorder, quick start guide, and it's got a lot of stuff in it. Looks like it's all in English, the one that I have here. So probably more than you'd ever care to know about the Zoom H1 right there. All I can say is it records great audio, super dependable, long record life, very compact, works great with cheap microphones, sounds good. It's like the Swiss Army knife of external audio if you want to record for your videos. Peace to all who watch. Hope you've enjoyed this little bit of a review of what this little thing has to offer. Subscribe if you like.